Hello, I'm Kang from Jeonnam National University. I'm glad to present our paper, The RayHand Navigation, a virtual navigation method with relative position between hand and gauge ray. For natural and intuitive interaction in virtual reality, many researchers have explored using body parts, such as gaze, hand, or torso as input modality, without any additional devices. However, relying on single input modality presents significant limitations. For example, gaze has the Midas touch issue that simply looking object causes unintentional movement. And hand typically required additional device for speed control and conflict with hand object manipulation. Torso has issues of requiring additional tracker for tracking torso and causing physical stress on the body due to the leaning pose. To overcome these challenges, recent studies have investigated combining gaze and hand inputs for object selection and manipulation. However, to the best of our knowledge, there is no research on combining gaze and hand interaction for navigation. So in this work, we designed a novel navigation technique named RayHand that combines gaze ray and hand interactions. In our RayHand navigation, user can start or stop the navigation and control the speed and direction. Here is how it works. Before starting navigation, the gaze ray is updated according to user's gaze direction. This gauge ray allows the user to decide the initial direction of the navigation before navigating. When the user places a hand on the gauge ray, the navigation starts. And the gaze loses the control of the gauge ray, but the hand takes the control of it. This switching of input modality for controlling the ray is for solving the Midas touch issue, decoupling the navigation and looking around activities. After navigation starts, the user can control the navigation speed and direction by moving hand. The translation speed is determined by the distance between the hand and head with the forwarding direction of the ray. When the user moves the hand forward or backward, the translation speed becomes faster or slower. The direction is changed by the hand's relative position to the ray. When moving the hand left or right relative to the ray, the navigation direction turns left or right. The rotation speed is controlled based on the orthogonal distance between the ray and the hand. The rotation speed increases as the orthogonal distance between the ray and the hand becomes greater and vice versa. When the user makes a fist or simply holds down the hand, the navigation stops. Then the gauge ray is updated and controlled by the user's eyes again. This navigation resolves the Midas touch issue because the gaze input does not control the speed and direction after initiating navigation. Also, no additional input device is required by hand motion to control the navigation speed and direction. To evaluate our RayHand navigation, we conducted a user study comparing to two other navigation methods, head-hand and torso-leaning navigation. The main difference among the three conditions is the input modality. Our RayHand navigation exploits the gaze and hand input modalities, while the head-hand and torso-leaning navigations used only one modality, such as the hand and torso. All these methods allow users to control both speed and direction, and support the decoupling of looking around and navigation activities, because we adopt hand and torso modality to control the speed and direction of our navigation. With the head-hand navigation, a user can translate at the head-to-hand direction, and its speed was calculated according to the distance between the head and hand. It is the same way as how the RayHand determines the translation speed. However, it directly maps the user's physical body turning to rotation. Torso-leaning navigation also directly maps the user's physical body turning to rotation. But torso-leaning level controls the translation speed. The task was navigating to the destination without bumping into the walls while counting horses on the field. And we conducted 2 rounds of user experiment to investigate the learning effect of 3 navigation techniques. To compare the proposed RayHand navigation, we measured the following variables: total navigation time and total distance, average speed, the sum of head rotation and position change, the number of times bumping into the wall, and incorrect horse counting. Also, we measured mental effort, task load, usability, simulator sickness, and user experience. In subjective measures, the 3 navigation have OK or higher levels in usability. However, the RayHand and HeadHand navigation were better than the torso-leaning navigation in terms of usability, task load, mental effort, simulator sickness, and user experience measurements. Notably, the RayHand navigation supported higher hedonic quality. We also observed that the RayHand navigation showed a significant learning effect between the first and second rounds in all subjective measures except the usability. From an objective measure, the RayHand navigation had significantly less head rotation in both rounds, and the HeadHand navigation had significantly less navigation distance. Contrary to results from the subjective measures, we found no significant difference among the 3 conditions in most objective measures, including total navigation time, speed, and incorrect horse counting for both rounds. And one interesting point is that in our observation, the RayHand navigation required less amount of body movement and it helped participants stay inside of the designated interaction area. But the HeadHand and torso-leaning navigation had a significant issue of participants accidentally leaving the area. Reflecting on our results and observations, we highlight several key findings. First, all 3 navigations supported positive user experience. This was verified by the OK or higher level of usability and having similar results in the completion time, speed, and incorrect horse counting. We attribute this result to the user having full control of the speed and direction while decoupling the looking around and navigation activities. Second, the RayHand and HeadHand navigation served better user experience compared to the torso-leaning navigation. In torso-leaning navigation, the physical demands associated with the leaning pose significantly detracted from overall user experience. Third, the RayHand and HeadHand navigation had their own benefits compared to each other. The HeadHand navigation supported effective control of the translation direction, which helped participants shorten the navigation distance. Meanwhile, the RayHand navigation was notable for its low demand for required body movement. According to our observation, not having any stepping movement is crucial to keep the user inside the small designated area. These benefits could increase the practicality of the RayHand navigation because most rooms do not have large empty spaces. Interestingly, in our RayHand navigation, even though user physical movement is different from the viewpoint movement, it had less simulator sickness compared to 2 body rotation navigations. This may be because of balancing themselves when turning physical body, and this process while wearing a HMD might feel dense and cause simulator sickness. Another strong point of the RayHand navigation was high hedonic quality. The gauge ray is not a real-world component, so using it in the interaction might influence hedonic quality. Last, the RayHand navigation showed a significant learning effect. Participants initially felt unfamiliar with hand control using the relative position between the hand and ray because the ray is not in the real world and hardly experience this kind of navigation. Nevertheless, participants learned it very quickly, and once getting used to it, they felt convenient with low amount of required physical demand. In summary, we introduced a novel VR navigation technique named RayHand navigation, which combines gaze and hand interactions. It supports both speed and direction controls by relative position between the hand and gaze ray, while decoupling looking around and navigation activities. For more details, we encourage you to refer our published paper. And with that, I would like to close and thank you for your attention.